Hi everyone, we're going to go over the euro tonight. The date is November 14th, 2011. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, but you can see today's trades were on a downtrend. Pretty much there's 10 o'clock and through this 24-hour period here. So let's zoom into here a little bit. And I'm going to make the range a little bigger. Now, if you're going to go strictly by the rule set, you will miss a lot more moves. That's what I have marked here. This is a complete by-the-book rule set. Watch our rules and guidelines video for more information on that. But what we have is the purple RSI cutting down below the 10s, and we have the green RSI bumping into it, cutting into the 10s, and what we would call a pierce right there. And that is just prior to our entry. So we've gone outside the Keltner channel here. Couple gray bars, and then we're getting our entries. We had a minor little pullback here, and it could have been another entry for a long as well. Okay. Also, we have an entry right here on divergence. So our RSI here on the green is picking up divergence. Got pricing going down, RSI going up. Also, let's look at this. This is always interesting. You've got two hits here, this point and this point, so you can make a trend line across here. On this price point, the RSI was stronger here, strong enough to break that trend line right there. So you can see this is the first clue that the next good pullback, if you're showing divergence, is a good trade for long. So even if you had taken this one up in here, this yellow bar, or waited around in here, that was a good trade there. Alright, the next trade. Okay, the next trade came down in here where we have both of the RSIs meeting the 10 at the same area, and right across here we have flat RSIs, and here we have downtrending price. So this is a good entry. This is our entry bar right in here, and we get a jump. Also, RSI came down here, purple RSI came down, broke the 10s. Alright, we did not take this trade. It's a little too soon. The RSI was not in yet. We had one more move down, and we had a pierce of the purple RSI with the green under the 10. So that is a signal to go long. Now there doesn't appear to be too much in that trade. Let's look at this next trade. I don't have it marked because it really was a difficult one to catch. We didn't have any divergence here showing. As I said, if you stick completely by the rules with the euro, it's a fooler sometimes, whereas if you can get very, very close to the 10s, and have a pullback, they can be just as successful. So if you had waited for this RSI to kind of come down in here, you would have missed that trade. Here's another one here. This is a pullback entry for a potential long. So we've got a signal right in here, and in fact the signal is also has RSI divergence. These greens are diverging and price here is almost flat. So that was a signal for a potential continuation up into here. You may have gotten stopped out, or you may have made some profit off that, but there's quite a few pips in there. Okay, now going strictly by our rules, this next trade, we have purple RSI under the 10s and the green RSI cutting into the 10s. So I'm going to mark this as a trade, as we had a blue bar in here. This is not a trade that was taken. There is a little divergence here and a small pop, but we are not inside the with the purple RSI yet. It's kind of hovering along here. We finally get it. We finally get it to start crossing down here, and this is a nice trade in that instantly here we have divergence showing up. We've got flat pricing across here. Again, this here is a pullback trade, assuming that we're going to go for higher highs. And there it is right there. We get a signal. Once we start getting into lower lows here, we're hoping to wait it out to bring this purple RSI down in here a lot lower. These are not, that's not a new lower low either. So best place to get in is another lower low. Okay. So between this price and this price, we have divergence as well. Also, the next trade is just simply very close to the 10 level on the purple RSI, and we have just a minor bit of divergence right here, okay, with a signal right in there, signal bar right there. Alright, so you can see we're picking up quite a few trades here during the day. Here's another very clean trade. We waited this whole range to fulfill, coming down into the 10s. Okay. So you can notice in here at this, all these gray bars, nothing in there really tells you to get in yet. That's what you want to do. You want to avoid getting on a trade and having it go against you. It's better to have missed this bottom point and get in on a good signal where it carries you upwards. Who wants to sit in a trade and have it go against you? a number of points or ticks or pips. So that's why you're picking up on the euro some of these entries that are a little bit later than if you were watching the YM or the NQ. Okay, so there's the end of our day. I'm going to zoom out here. How about, let's zoom out about that much. That's pretty good. We'll start at the beginning of that 24-hour period. We'll look at all these trades. Okay. So here's the first trade we had taken. A perfect rolling purple RSI down here and a pierce, and we get a signal. It comes back against you. Typical euro. It's always going a little deeper or a little higher or lower than you expect. Alright, here's the other one. I'm going to go through here real slow, and you decide whether this is a money-making service or not for you. Each one of these trades so far seems to have made some good money. This one is probably a stop out, and I marked it strictly because we do have divergence down here. Pretty unusual to have that kind of divergence and it not be another move up into somewhere up here. Okay, here's another trade here with divergence. Pullback trade. These trades were very close. See, the issue is if we were probably going deeper, we wouldn't have picked up these blue bars as signals. We would have had something like this taking place, more and more gray bars. So once you're starting to see signals, it's very possible that you're going to get this purple RSI not to go as deep. So as I was mentioning, if you wait for it every single time, it can be a safer move, but you could miss quite a few trades. Now, we have a red bar here. This is one I didn't spot, but this is a trade right here. We've got the RSI coming in here, the purple RSI coming in, and the green one comes back and breaks the 10s, and we're getting a red bar. Red bars are very good. What happens, it's really, I've had people ask fairly often why I have these charts set up with red bars typically where you would see green bars. Green mean going up. I had mentioned it in one of our other videos that I strictly see it as risk of losing profit that I've already gained. So instead of my trading when we're watching price go up and up, I really want something to remind me that I'm actually risking. Like for example here, we get price going up, I start seeing red bars. Well, red bars are good because it means an uptrend is usually fairly intact if you're getting on at the right price. But in my eyes at the same time, those red bars are giving me more of a warning that you have now profited right up and through here, and at any point a red bar is a good time to take profits, especially if you start seeing a couple gray bars here. Gray bars, you can see, are the beginning of downtrends. Okay, again, I want to make sure people don't think that this is an indicator you can trade both directions. I would not recommend that at all. They do not work that way, and but again, going back to, why aren't these bars green? Green puts you into a state of, yeah, everything's great, let's just see how high it'll go, when actually once you have booked some profits, you're not out of a trade yet, but once you have booked some profits, prior to closing it out, you need something to tell you, hey, be prepared for the trade to start losing what it gained. And if I put green bars in here, it gives me a whole different sense that everything is okay. Now, that's not the sense I want. I want a sense of you've gotten in it at a price right here. You're booking these profits. You want at some point to trigger something that tells you, hey, take the profits before they turn into nothing. Alright, so that's why I have red bars there, and maybe I explained it a little better in a different video, but it's really more of a warning that at any time, price, you can be losing these profits. And so it's a little contrarian, but it works, and I hope it might be a good thing to start thinking of your trades in the same manner. So here are some more signals, and I'm going to finish up. I wanted to thank our subscribers. Hope we've been doing a good job for everybody. We know signals, not everything works out. We understand that. But if you look at the percentages here in just this 24 hours of trading, how many of these trades were working for you? Those four seem those four seem to work. This one did, this one did, this one, this one. There's a bad trade. This one you should have been safe on. That's safe, that's safe, that's safe, this is safe, and we didn't have any real good signals in here. So, pretty nice day of trading. Again, like I said, I wanted to thank our subscribers, and we appreciate you enjoying our service, because we love to do it. I like to do it, and I think helps everybody. All right, thank you.